wedding anniversary. They've been married 50 years. My grandmother's white, my grandfather's black.
Okay.
And we realized and talked about all the things that they had been through. And what was funny is that even back then, you know, it was a big taboo, and even some places it was illegal. But even today, it's still a big issue and a problem, especially for our black women. So I wanted to talk to y'all about that, and let's see if we can figure out why we do it, and why black women are so upset about us dating white women outside of our race, but particularly white women. Reg, why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Well, I think that, you know, it's a problem because for a long time, you know, sisters have been, you know, treated badly. You know, they're not given the limelight and, you know, Hollywood celebrity type deals, and they glorify white women in magazines and, you know, on TV. And so they always, it seems like you're always getting beat over the head if you were a black woman, you know. And I think that some women take it as a, you know, a direct offense to it when they see a brother with a white girl or just dating outside their race. And
what about the white woman who worked at the Winn-Dixie in Arizona? You think she offended? You think she just as offended as, you know, the Hollywood people who live out here in Hollywood?
I think so. I mean,
you think so?
I think that, you know, I think it's a some people take offense to everything. I mean,
right.
And whether you're black, white, there's a point in you where you might be offended by something. You know, you can be offended by a brother dating a white girl. You can be offended by a white guy dating a black woman, you know.
Anthony, what about you, my man?
Well, you know, since I grew up in the 60s and early 70s, really the crossroads of our society through civil rights movement and going into the 70s, you know, me being a former collegiate and professional athlete, I mean, I got a tenfold because the limelight was on me in particular, you know. And I have to admit, I dated white women.
You were at USC, right?
And I dated black women. But from a social standpoint, when I went to USC, social was very limited for blacks because therefore it wasn't many black women on campus. And probably when I was at USC, the problem is the black population were the athletes. So
right.
we saw black women, we were like wolves because, you know, we didn't have them on campus. So what I did, I didn't date white women particularly because I wanted to be a white woman, because it was there and that was a social atmosphere.
It was a prerequisite at that time.
It was there, but I mean...
You checked in, they gave you your books, 3 white women and some pencils.
That's not what it was. But the bottom line, on the perimeter of the university, there was the black community. So once I got familiar with you know, I ventured out where I, you know, dated a black woman out of Compton and a black woman out of Long Beach State. But they focused, whenever I was around a white woman or talking to, he likes white women.
So when you was in the limelight, it was white?
It was even more so because when they saw me with even just talking to a woman socially, oh, he likes white women. And I got confronted by black women. Hey, you know, what's the deal? You prefer white women over black women? I said, well, no, it just happens, this woman I know.
It just happens that all these white girls is here for me.
Know? And so, and I remember dating this girl from UCLA named Sherry Walker out of Compton. You know, I still know her. She's up in the Bay Area now. She's an attorney now. When everyone saw me, she says, "Well, aren't you out of your
atmosphere?
Your atmosphere? I thought you like white women." I said, "Well, no. I mean, you know, this is my girl."
Right.
And she's black, and so happened you saw me talking to a white woman one time. So that doesn't mean I prefer being with white women. That was my case.
Right.
I had no preference, but I know some brothers prefer being with white women.
Right.
You know, even back then or even now, which I disagree with that totally.
That the preference you disagree with.
I don't like the preference thing. Okay. And I know guys, and you've all have heard this statement. You know, it's really degrading if it's like, I don't burn coal, I suck ice. You know, and that's the worst thing. I mean, I've heard some brothers even say, if you see me with a black woman, I'm holding her for the police.
That's what I'm talking about. I heard
you
that.
Holding for a what?
He's holding for the police.
I mean,
Ocean, let me ask you.
And we all know some of the brothers are like that. I don't need to bring some names up, but you all know some guys got in trouble.
Who, OJ?
Recently.
Go to say OJ.
You know?
Come on, say OJ.
He's actually even told me that. I mean, I said, man, listen, a woman is a woman.
OJ learned how to run so fast because he was running from black women. You know what it was?
Well, not that. I guess the brother found out when he was coming back to Brentwood with all the police behind him. He realized at the end of the day he was still a brother.
He got his black wake-up call?
Oh, he got his wake-up call.
Let me ask Ocean. Ocean, how do you feel? Why do you think black women feel betrayed? Why do you think they feel the way they do when they see us outside of our...
Because they think that we just using white women. and they, you know what I mean? So they
Seems like
just,
they would appreciate that. We use them, then come back to them when we real.
yeah, I guess that, but I don't, you know what I mean? They just,
That's if we come back.
they
If
get,
we come back.
everybody, I'm with everybody, but I just, you know, for me, I date white girls, and I don't have a problem saying that I date white girls. Just seem like when you know, I just like somebody I can have fun with and have an easy talk to. And it seems like in my case and the girls that I've met, when I meet a girl, a white girl, she's just cool. You know what I mean? You can just go up to her and have a conversation, even if she don't even like you. She'll sit and tell you her whole life story. You could just have a conversation.
White people do that.
They
just,
do.
How you doing? Well, you know, guys,
Right, exactly.
Harvard, and
So and a black girl is just like, why are you talking to me? I'm just like, baby, I just was asking you. I don't care. I don't know you.
So you sound like you prefer.
I prefer niceness, but if you know what I mean, whoever nice, but you know what I mean, it just seems that white girls are really special. They're nice.
When you think of the topic of the so-called angry black woman,
Right.
I think embedded in that anger is a sense of betrayal, a sense of abandonment, and I think some of the so-called anger in a generic sense is justified to a large extent. Part of the responsibility is attributable to my generation who didn't fulfill all the time their responsibilities towards young black males in terms of shaping their perceptions of themselves and the perceptions of others, okay? And oftentimes these young men grow up with a popularized notion, okay, of themselves and others. And that leads generally to our detriment.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think there's so many black leaders have dated or been with white women? Because we have a lot. I mean, Frederick Douglass, a lot of black leaders have been married to or, you know, O.J. Simpson,
For me, I think that, you know, is